Welcome back to CP24. A recent New York Times article suggested that advertising was changing, but advertising agencies were not. Joining us with more and the impact on all of us, live from the TSX Broadcast Center, John Farquhar, president of Wild Mouse. It's a new advertising agency headquartered in Toronto. Hi, John.
Hello, Ann. How are you?
So tell me, what is changing in advertising?
Everything and nothing. Everything's changing from the point of view. This is the first time in history that people are spending more time actually online than they are on watching television. So it has a great change in people's viewing habits. Nothing is changing in the sense of people are still looking for greater self-esteem, a sense of belonging, and a really big television set.
So the objectives are still the same, it's just the venues are changing.
They're changing profoundly, yes they are.
You know, at first when I heard your company name, Wild Mouse, I thought about a ride at the exhibition, but I think what you're talking about is the mouse used in a computer, and that's kind of indicative of the changing venues that we're talking about.
Oh, you know what, Ann, you were right the first time.
Really?
I named it Wild Mouse. Nobody knows what really the future of advertising is going to be. So I think it's going to be a great roller coaster ride, so we named it Wild Mouse.
Isn't that great? Well, we're thinking alike, and I guess that's one of the keys to your success, or anybody in advertising. You try to figure out what the consumer is thinking, maybe create a situation where there might be demand based on the supply that is before you. How do you go about being creative and staying one step ahead of the consumer?
It's riding with the consumer as opposed to really staying ahead of them. If you stay with where their needs and desires are, and then you create startling work that can really capture a mood and an insight into what their lives are about right now, then that's the kind of advertising that can really work out there. It also requires that you understand that you have to create that work in a number of different venues that we've never had before.
So this New York Times article saying that advertising was changing, we get that, but advertising agencies are not. What does that mean?
I have a small advertising agency, and there's a lot of behemoths out there, large international advertising networks. It's pretty easy for me to course correct because I got a small boat. These guys have battleships, and it's a little harder for them to make quick turns. Yeah,
you know, it's interesting. A lot of people like you who start their own small companies, recent adventures have come from the big guys. Was that your background as well?
Yeah, I was the president of Young and Rubicam Advertising.
Isn't that, yeah, that's one of the biggest, absolutely. Yeah. What made you decide to break away and create Wild Mouse?
I think I was either drunk or it was a psychotic episode.
It might have been both. And what is it that you are doing that changes the way advertising agencies could, should, or will be performing?
Well, as opposed to 30-second TV commercials, we do those, but in addition to those, we've created online films. We create blogging strategies for clients so they can be part of the dialogue of what's happening out there amongst their consumers. What happens is brands no longer own their own, companies no longer own their own brands. The brands are part of an overall dialogue. They can't control all the information about their brands. So the brands have to be part of the companies have to be part of the dialogue as opposed to completely owning it now. So the techniques that we use are quite different than just simply putting out a 30-second television commercial and owning the message.
How can I be a smart consumer knowing that you're a very smart ad man?
I think if what you mean is I'm somehow going to bamboozle people into buying things.
Now, did I say that?
I think bad products die a very fast death out there, and also we don't own the information anymore as companies. So it has really changed from that point of view.
Wow, you've got your finger on the pulse, John. I'll meet you at the Wild Mouse next summer at the exhibition. How's that?
See you there, Ann.
Okay, bye.